welcome to the Searching for Players podcast, the podcast that in honor of Halloween has made a deal with death itself. Let's just say, when you're still watching our podcast in like 10 years, we're going to look exactly the same as we do now. Although I don't know what's scarier, the fact that we made an immortality deal with death or that we're still going to be doing our little podcast in 10 years. So,
I can tell you.
But we'll find out in 10 years. As always, I am David, Player 1. Joining me as almost always is Alina, Player 2. And of course, everyone's favorite, our resident non-gamer, Dallas, Player 4. I'm pretty sure Alex couldn't make it because he was putting razor blades in all his Halloween candy.
So. Sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah. Not to give out to kids, but that's how he prefers his candy, is with razor blades. I don't know, it's weird.
He gives it a certain bite.
Yeah, it's edgy like that.
Do it too.
So, in honor of Halloween, this podcast will be dark and depressing. We will be talking about death.
Cool.
We'll start off easy and work up to the hard stuff. So, first off, the Kinect is officially dead.
Oh no!
Impacting everyone. Actually, that's a lot of gamers' reactions too. Yeah. Of course, the Kinect was the camera system for the Xbox. They added it to the 360 back in 2002. It was sort of, where you would do the motions and you would control things on screen by moving around and the camera would pick you up. It actually, probably its bigger contributions were more from facial recognition, voice recognition, even like body recognition. You could set up your profile so if you would walk in front of your Xbox, the camera would recognize you and log you into your profile because it knew who you were. You could wave and then give it commands. Netflix worked with it, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of that technology has been adapted to other things. But from a gaming perspective, the Kinect really never caught on. The Xbox One, it was the final push. When the Xbox One first came out, it was bundled. You had to get a Kinect with it. After that, Kinect kind of faded. There were almost there's no Kinect games now being made. Yeah. Did you ever play any Kinect games?
I want to say yes, but I don't remember what they were. My mom bought a workout one for herself, and I was trying it out one time at the house. So I've played it a couple of times. I think we did Just Dance at my friend's or something like that too.
Yeah, those were the most popular. It was the dancing games usually worked the best. But trying to make any kind of action, it's the same problem a lot of VR has where there's not a good way to move forward, right? There was one game I played where you put your hands up and you'd go like that and you'd move to the next section. And then you could turn around and look at things and you'd control stuff and hand gestures would do stuff. Sometimes it would work for combat okay if the combat, again, was very centralized. It was just quick time events, move your hand up, it's like you're blocking, you would succeed to go through the next animation, then it would have you go like this and you throw the character and but it would only work because you were in this one location, and it was basically a glorified quick time event of just move this way, watch the video, move this way, watch the video, so
it's trying to get gamers to work out.
That was the other thing. There were a lot of workout games that they tried to get you off the couch.
Oh, Dance Central. I owned that. That was mine.
Oh, okay.
So I did play that one quite a bit.
Why am I not surprised that you owned a dancing game?
Because I don't know.
How many dancing games do you have?
Not very many. That's probably the one dancing game I have.
It's just it?
Yeah.
It's not 5?
No.
Just one?
I used to have when I had the PlayStation, I had DDR games.
Dance Revolution with the mat and all that. Yeah.
I did have that.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago.
Okay.
I haven't bought any recently.
Yeah.
Although I did want to get into Dance Central, but I didn't have a Kinect, so it never really did. My mom had it. She bought it.
Well, and it was telling a lot of the Kinect games wound up adding controller support. You're supposed to play with the Kinect, but play it with the controller if you want, So, yeah. And the Kinect has been on the deathbed for a long time. Like I said, after it came out for Xbox One, there were almost no games after the initial launch. So
it's still going to be support, or is it just...
So they said they're not making any more Kinects. When retailers run out, that's it. As far as I know, no one's working on any kind of Kinect games. Probably the most interesting, I remember Mass Effect 3 on 360. You could have your Kinect on, and there were things you could do voice commands to your teammates, and so take cover, and they would go over to that spot. That stuff kind of worked. And I think in Mass Effect there was an option where you could go like this and you throw a grenade or something, something silly. But yeah, most mainstream games didn't even use it.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it would be really awkward. Just you yelling at your TV to your not real teammates.
Well, even now, like trying to work with Cortana on Xbox to just like record a video, it works like half of the time.
Yeah.
The other half time, she starts searching the internet for things. I'm like trying to play a game, and all of a sudden the internet window pops up.
Cortana,
I'm
no.
like, no.
Bad Cortana.
Cortana.
But yeah, they officially said in an interview that they're done making Kinect, so we'll see. Yeah. So moving on, Lego Dimensions has officially died.
Oh no!
So Lego Dimensions is another one of those toys to life, like
Okay.
Disney Infinity or
Oh,
Skylanders.
oh boy.
So yeah, Disney
Why'd they do
Infinity was one of the popular ones that shut down last year. Skylanders, which started the whole Toys to
Yeah.
Life, is on a break. Whatever that
It's
means.
probably not
Supposedly they're working on some sort of mobile version of it. But basically, Toys to Life is where you actually get the little figures. You would put them on like a little stand that connects to your console, and then that figure would appear in the game. And you could buy like add-ons, so you could buy the Back to the Future pack in Lego Dimensions. You'd put it on the thing, you would get a Back to the Future world to play in, you'd get several Back to the Future characters, and people would actually collect like the little statues and stuff. Lego Dimensions basically was the last one still standing. And the neat thing about the Lego Dimensions was it had other properties like Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Lord of the Rings. And it was because of their deals with their Lego sets, they were able to bring those into the game itself. So you could explore the world of Lord of the Rings with a Harry Potter character, or go into Back to the Future as a Ghostbuster, things like that, and just, mix it all up.
When did they start?
Lego Dimensions
Yeah.
has been around for 2 years.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, and they actually said they had a 3-year plan, and in the third year they were going to bring in Minecraft, which still messes with my head because Minecraft was basically a copy of Lego for video games.
Yeah.
Then Lego got the Minecraft rights to make Lego sets, so you're building Minecraft in the real world, which is what Lego was to begin with.
Yeah.
And then they were bringing Minecraft into their Lego video. I don't know. Anyways, they didn't make it to year 3. They've been around for 2 years. No new expansion packs coming. They did say they will continue to leave the servers up and have customer support for anybody who buys anything, which is more than what Disney Infinity did. They shut down their servers, so you can only play like in your own, by yourself. The big thing with these games is being able to build your own levels and then put them out there for other people, and interacting with the fan base and stuff. So it's cool they're keeping this going for a while. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if next year, after the holiday season and they've sold a bunch of the leftovers, that maybe they'll start to wind it down. I don't know. Did you ever play any of the Toys to Life stuff?
I mean, Matt has amiibos, but
And amiibos is different too.
Yeah.
It's not the same as all these other ones.
Right.
'Cause,
No, I never played any of that stuff.
Amiibos is kind of Nintendo's version where you buy the figures.
I don't care.
Well, and the thing is, they are in general aimed at a younger audience for the most part. They're super cartoony. Kids like to collect the figures. I've never played them. The closest I ever got was my nephew's friend had some, and somehow I saw them at one point. That sort of thing.
That's the closest connection.
Yeah, I never played them.
I saw them one day.
Yeah, I've never bought them. And if you go to like used game stores, there's always like a cabinet just full of figures.
If you go to Target, there's
and they're always like.
If you go to the electronics section at all, you'll see them.
Okay.
Just so you know.
And I think it was just one of those
Go to
things.
Target.
Next time, I do love
Just
Target.
go look at them, and you'll
love
be as
Target.
close as
Probably
David.
Yeah,
got
that's
there
pretty
in a
much.
day.
Yeah.
Cool.
Be as close as
And I think they just saturated the market. It was real popular, but now the figures are everywhere, and they just, they have to manufacture the software and the games, but they also have to create the figures, and then the price starts to go up and up. So, so we'll see if Skylanders does anything interesting, but Lego Dimensions is officially done.
They're on a break.
So, yeah. So now, the bigger death story.
Okay.
I've tried really hard to tie this into Halloween, as you can tell.
Yeah.
EA shut down Visceral Games, which Visceral was responsible for like the Dead Space series, Battlefield Hardline, and most recently they were working on a Untitled Star Wars project. And that's the big thing. Everybody was super excited for this new Star Wars game. EA, of course, has all the rights to Star Wars from Disney right now, and they've only put out the Battlefield games and the mobile game. And this was going to be the first one in 2019, the first big single-player Star Wars game with their new, all the new stuff and everything. So everybody was really excited. Plus, it was written by Amy Hennig, she wrote the Uncharted games, so a lot of people were excited about
yeah.
that. So there was a lot of anticipation for this, and then EA came out and said, we've shut down Visceral, we're moving people to different projects, and the Star Wars game is going to move to their Vancouver office. So the game's not dead, but a lot of people are worried because I guess they've said that, this was going to be a linear single-player experience. We feel this is not what our fans want, and we're going to make it a more open game that players can return to again and again. And it just sounds like it sounds more like a Destiny type game, which is not what I want out of a Star Wars game. And they've also said, it was supposed to come out in 2019. It's been delayed. We'll let you know. Which is funny because if you read the press release, he talks about how in this ever fast-paced, changing world of gaming, keeping up with the trends, we're trying to do that. And then they're like, but we're delaying this game out even further, so, don't worry about it. And they also haven't said if Amy Hennig is still attached to the project or not. So, of course, my initial reaction...
You're gonna mess it up.
Yeah. I was looking forward to this game. Like I said, it was the first one that was supposed to come out of all the big Star Wars games besides Battlefront. Now, there's been another report. A former Visceral employee has apparently written a thing talking about that Visceral was actually not in good shape. There was a lot of people working crazy overtime. They were trying to create a demo to show EA what they were doing. And it sounds like it may have been more of a mess than we know. And that EA may have made the right decision in shutting this down and changing it. But it still worries me that this language about keeping up with trends and making it this like experience gamers can come back to and all this stuff. So I don't know. I'm expecting loot boxes. I'm expecting mission updates and multiplayer stuff and all this. I don't know. I don't know. You know me. I like my story in games and all that. So.
I feel like it's been a while since we've had a good story game.
For Star Wars?
For a lot of games.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. A lot of multiplayer only and stuff like that.
You guys should go to dating simulators.
That has all the story.
It does.
Everything you need.
I know a game I forgot about that I played.
What was it?
It was Doki Doki Literature Club.
You told us about that last time.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Because I remember looking it up then afterwards.
Yeah.
I downloaded it.
Good.
But I have not played it.
Oh, you gotta play it.
Yeah.
It's only like 4 hours.
Yeah, that's what I read. It's not long. But
It's good.
Um,
Not for you, but I don't think you'd like this one as much. Maybe David will show you some screenshots or something. Take something from Dallas when you play it.
Okay, yeah, I'll record it.
You'll know.
Is this the horror one that you're talking about? I might like it.
That was the thing when I was looking it up and I was looking at some screenshots for it. It said it was in Steam's tags. It was like dating, anime, visual novel, and then it was like psychological horror. I was like, whoa, all right.
Yeah.
We have to play this.
Good stuff.
And it's free, so it was like, anyway, so yeah, Star Wars story. And that's the thing. A lot of people after this were like, oh, the death of single-player games. Oh, the death of story-driven. I don't think that's going to be true. You look at what Sony's doing. God of War, Spider-Man, both coming out next year. Both of those are strong single-player. They already said Spider-Man doesn't have multiplayer or anything like that. They're focusing on that, strong single-player. So it's still there. It's just I think some companies like EA and stuff may not do that as much. There'll always be those options. A lot of indie games are story-driven. So it's just a lot of people see the money that you can make off of loot boxes and DLC and all that, and it's like
get greedy.
And they want your players to keep playing the game, and they keep spending. I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto 5. That game has been out for
people are still
and the multiplayer is still crazy popular.
Yeah.
So one of the creators just recently came out and said there's no single player DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5, and he said the reason was other projects they're focusing on Red Dead Redemption 2. But he said also because they wanted to give the multiplayer that time and focus to make it as good as it is. And of course, like I said, that's a cash cow. You've already spent your $30 now maybe to get the game, $60, whatever. But you're still spending money in multiplayer. So it's like just, printing money.
Yep.
So now this is not death. This is the Undead.
Okay.
Things coming back to life.
All right.
You are reaching. I like it.
You know what?
Stretch it out, David.
So, of course, 360 games have been backwards compatible on Xbox One, and they've always been adding more and more. They recently announced that they're actually going to start adding enhancements to 360 games through the Xbox One X. So when the newest version of the Xbox One comes out, certain titles will get even further enhancements by playing on the X. And I'm not talking about Xbox One. I'm talking about old 360 titles are going to look and play better, in theory, on the X. And they've already said Assassin's Creed, the original, Fallout 3, Halo 3, and Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion are all going to have enhancements on the Xbox One X. What exactly that means, they've said they'll support HDR, which now I forget what HDR stands for, but basically that gives you truer blacks and more color. A lot of the newer 4K TVs support HDR, and the newer systems support it's like PS4 Pro and Xbox One S, and then of course the X will all support HDR. And increased pixel count. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing that just means more detail in the images and stuff, but this is interesting. How important do you think this is, like, to be able to play your older 360 games?
I mean, I only still just have a 360.
Right.
So, not that important, right. I guess.
I mean, so, like, say if the PS4 all of a sudden was like, you can play your PS3 games.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of those. So, yeah, for sure. If it was PS4, I'd be super excited.
So, I mean, I feel like there's definitely the audience for this. Like, people want to play their older games. Their old libraries are still, valid, I guess you could say. Just be able to pop your old game in your new system and get enhancements. That seems like a good deal. Because then the other thing, and we had talked about this briefly, that you can play old Xbox, like original Xbox games on your Xbox One. And they just added that feature. And they said there's 13 games right now. 12 that you can download through the Xbox store.
Oh, that's
There's
cool.
a King of Fighters game that you have to own the disc to play it. But and I own 3. I discovered Psychonauts, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Prince of Persia. So, of course, I had to test them all out to see what they looked like. They've upscaled it. It runs in 1080p, so the games look really clean, really sharp. And they seem to run well. I only played each one for like a half hour just to see. But they look good. It was cool to be able to just stick an old school Xbox disc into an Xbox One, and it does something. And in the press release, when they were talking about 360 games getting enhancements, supposedly they said original Xbox games will also get some sort of benefit on the Xbox One X. They didn't say what, they didn't say which games, but I'm like, I don't know how much you can improve these old, games.
Like,
or
what can you do?
But
that's interesting.
But so, like you said, if it was PS4, you'd be super excited about this. So I feel like
maybe this will start a trend, Sony.
Right. And it'll be interesting to see. I always wonder how these things affect the, small stores, that sell old games.
Yeah.
Will this be good for them because now people are going to come looking for these old games? Or will this be bad because now these old games are being available digital?
Yeah.
So, like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, I forget what the price was digitally, but I know that goes for like $40 to $50 in a collector's store.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can just buy it for $20 on my Xbox, why wouldn't I just do that unless I'm super OCD like I am about physical collections and stuff? So it's like, but in some cases they're cheaper. The store I like to go to has, I just forgot that old Xbox game where it was one of the original ones where you'd fly in like these planes, but it's sort of steampunkish. I just forgot the name of it. I think it's $10 to download it on Xbox. The store I go to sells the physical versions for $5.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was such a common game, you could find versions everywhere. So in some cases, you can get the physical cheaper, just throw it in the Xbox and play it. Like a half hour from now, I'm going to remember the name of that game. I can't remember it now. Anyways, so
edit yourself in.
That was sort of that was I'll put up an image of the cover so that we'll just know it. It's going to bug me.
Just look it up.
All right, on live, on air.
Except not.
Except this is not live, I know.
And we know you, it's going to bug you the rest of the episode. Like, just look it up.
I'm just going to kind of be like...
He's going to be like, I still can't remember the name of that.
What is it?
It was steampunkish.
Also, I think it's in my stomach, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our stomachs are growling.
I'm not hungry.
Crimson
Just
Skies.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that game.
The most interesting thing too is so of course all the online multiplayer for these old Xbox games, those servers have been shut down. But if it supported System Link with the old Xbox, you can actually System Link the Xbox One, and it'll actually let you. They've tested it where you can link an original Xbox to an Xbox 360, because Crimson Skies was backwards compatible in 360, to an Xbox One, to an Xbox One X, and the game will play. You can have a 4-player game on all 4 different systems or whatever. God. So I think it was an Xbox One S, not an X, but you get the idea. So the old Xbox will actually communicate to the new Xboxes.
That's kind of cool.
So, yeah. And this is just an interesting tidbit. The original Xbox, do you remember how the startup, it would be like the green blob, and then it would turn into an X, and the Xbox symbol would appear. So I guess people were looking for that video file after they installed the original Xbox games, right? Because that's what people do, right? They wanted that intro video file. Apparently, it's not a video. It's a little program, and that blob thing is random every time. Oh. So it's not just a canned video of it doing it. It was like a program that would randomize what the blob, how the blob would move and then turn into the X or whatever.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So it was one of those things people are kind of discovering now. But anyways.
The more you know.
There you go. So the only other thing that they announced it earlier this week, I think. This is not video game related, not Halloween related, and I'm not going to try to force it in to tie to Halloween. The new the Han Solo prequel got an official title, and it's simply called
Solo.
No. Well, no, you're close. It's just called Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Oh my god. Okay.
I don't know.
I could have come up with that title. Matter of fact, I like Solo better. But
Solo.
Solo is Solo.
Anyways, I was just curious what y'all thought about that title.
I don't like it. Don't like it. Solo. It's Solo, a Star Wars story?
Yeah. And what they did was, you know how Star Wars usually has like, it'll say like Star Wars and the title's in a box in the middle. Mm-hmm. What they did is they just put Solo in the box, and then down at the bottom it says a Star Wars story, like in smaller print. Like to me, the image looked kind of cool. The name itself.
So this is the new movie?
The new movie that comes out next year.
Okay.
Yeah. That Ron Howard wound up directing. Oh. So.
Why not just name it Solo then? Like you don't have to have a Star Wars story.
Well, I was trying to remember. Did Rogue One say like a Star Wars story at the bottom or anything like that?
Maybe it did, but I don't think it. I'm not sure.
See, who's gonna remember if it does or doesn't?
Yeah, right. Everybody calls it Rogue One anyway. Nobody's like Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
So you're not gonna be like, you see that new Solo?
I would if it was just named Solo. Yeah.
But you see that new Solo, a Star Wars story?
right. Did you see the new Star Wars story, Solo? I know, right? That name's too long. That's how that conversation would go. I'm just saying.
So.
Yeah. What about you guys? Do you?
I don't care either way.
Heathen. I think the name is okay. Like I said, I liked the image. Looked okay. Like when it was like a little video Ron Howard did where Chewbacca handed him a sign and he flipped it over and it had the title on it. I think the image looked okay, but the name is, I don't know. It needed something more Star Wars-y-ish. Some complicated. Mm-hmm. But.
I guess.
Solo. On his own. No?
Solo, a romantic comedy.
The Force in Solo? No? It's not. Yeah, that one's pretty bad.
No!
That one's pretty bad.
I was going to say riding solo, but that's already done.
Yeah, that's
so
not.
No.
Flying solo.
I do like that one.
Well, and speaking of the Kinect, there was that Star Wars Kinect game that added the dance mode. It played a lot like Just Dance. Mm-hmm. And they would take popular songs and change them. And so, like, Han Solo's dancing to... I think they changed it to Flying Solo. It might have been Riding Solo, okay. But it was, yeah. Or no, you know what? I think it was just, my name's Han Solo. And I'm not going to sing it for copyright purposes, but it's bad. No, it's bad. Trust me. It's bad. Like, So you never saw that?
No.
The Star Wars game?
I don't know.
It had like a
what you're
Jedi
talking about.
thing where you would move and they would like act like you're fighting and stuff. But they had all these extra modes crammed in there.
David,
So
I don't care about Star Wars.
I know, but
You're asking me if I
I just
played
remember
the
when it
game,
came out,
and
it
yet...
became such like an internet meme thing about this,
You know,
Kinect
no idea.
dancing.
Sometimes I wonder why we're friends, because all of us like very different things, and then when we try and get the other person excited about it, they're like, I don't care.
Just a big wet blanket.
Yeah, it's always just like ruining our assignment. Like, why do I talk to you anyway?
I mean, like, Star Wars is so great. I'm so excited for Solo, a Star Wars story, you guys.
And you've ruined it. I don't like the title anymore at all.
Right? Like,
Sorry, if we do our Star Wars marathon,
I mean, I
We'll
still
convert
want
Alina.
to. I still want to watch, but I don't
she's
care.
gonna be there, just like, when are we watching anime?
That's not true. I won't do that.
You're gonna think it. You're not gonna
Now
say
I
it out
will.
loud.
I enjoy the movies. I don't have anything wrong, but it's just like I'm not into like everything Star Wars. We've talked about this.
yeah.
Wait, but are you a Star Trek fan?
I like Star Trek, but same thing. Like I like Star Trek more than I like Star Wars.
Yes.
As far as like
But now, like, I'm
world
thinking,
stuff or into like.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking about the stuff you like compared to the stuff I like. Like, do you even like
Do you like things?
like sci-fi kind
Yeah.
of human?
Yeah, I do. I like stuff.
What?
I like stuff.
I like stuff.
I can enjoy the medium without like
Liking it.
obsessing over it.
Oh.
Not. I mean, not that you are.
No, I do obsess over stuff.
Okay,
I know what you're saying though. They're like,
I obsess over my own things.
Yeah,
I have my own things.
No. I
It's
get
just not
that.
Star Wars.
I mean, we all have our own things that we're obsessed over, but I'm just like, I can't think of something in that vein of like Star Wars, Star Trek, kind of
like that I
interplanetary.
really like.
Yeah, like Battlestar Galactica, anything of that nature.
Oh, okay. I see what
You
you
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you watched Outlaw Star?
Yeah. Maybe I like anime sci-fi.
I mean, like,
because I'm like, I love anime sci-fi stuff, but when it's like...
like Firefly.
Yeah, that's alright.
Oh, man. Oh.
No.
You know what? This podcast is over. I'm sorry to say.
Actually, we have come to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
That pretty much wraps it up. Told you this would be a dark, depressing podcast. Thank you, Alina, for putting that down.
Farscape, anything, X-Files. I mean, X-Files
I haven't
is
really
very-
watched X-Files.
I'm not a huge X-Files fan yet either. I haven't really.
I want to
delved
watch
into
it.
Yeah. We'll watch it together, and then you can hate on my dreams.
Sure. We'll just hate each other's characters that we love.
We always do.
It's just something we have to live with, Dallas, okay?
I know. Every time I come talk to you, I'm like, oh, she's gonna hate this character that I love. Oh, that's okay, Doge. You can hate. I'm gonna curse. You can hate shitty characters. She says
I just
every
finished
time.
editing
Every time.
editing that other our what you been watching, what you been playing, the second half. Yeah, this exact conversation happened on that episode. So, especially like when I said I didn't really like Kill la Kill, and she's like, oh, "That's okay. You don't have to like that."
We can like different stuff. That's fine.
I'm totally fine with liking different stuff.
No, I am too. Sometimes I wish we liked the same
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
stuff. Yeah.
It'd be nice.
It's okay. We'll still be friends.
And on that note, the podcast of Shattered Friendships comes to an end. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully, Alex will be here. We'll have another solid 4-player, although I don't think he'll be able to. But because he'll be choking on his razor blade filled candy. So,
He's
Way
gonna have
to
to
bring it full
recover.
circle.
yeah, I had to bring it back. Bring it back to Halloween.
Yeah.
All right. So we will hopefully see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.